Look! Oh, snap! Check out the countdown. Oh, snap! That means ropes is going down. Let's get it! Bet on the Ropes Wednesday night. Bet on 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My first guest. She's a wrestling commentator, ring announcer, correspondent. They are all the reasons you bet on Alyssa Marino. Then at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, her text messages blow up. Wrestlers want her managing services. She's one of the greats. Foxy Foxxy joins Off the Top Rope, of course, ending out Wednesday nights. Top Notch 2, special night with your boy Ty Asbury. This is a night, hey, like it says, it's going to be top notch.
The Ropes Media. Tyrod Asbury. Yeah. Tyrod Asbury. Yeah. Every chance you get to hear us, you clear us. Just the time on the radio. My opinion's my opinion every time you hit.
What is up, everybody? We are live tonight on Off the Top Rope. And again, your boy Ty Asbury's back. And tonight, I want you to mark this night, of course, May 31st, 2023, when 7 p.m. hit. Greatness, brace the ropes. Because I'm going to say this right now. Hey, you're getting a free wrestling managing class because my live guest, she is one of the best in wrestling and managing her wrestlers. Like I said, text her up if you're looking to go to the top in wrestling. Foxy Foxxy is live right now. Foxy, what's up, girl?
Nothing much. You flatter. You flatter me.
Well, Foxy, I got to say first and foremost, I've been a fan. And like I said, when they had the Binghamton Wrestling Con, like I said, I saw you on the card. I was like, man, I got to get her on the show. And here you are. I'm excited. And first and foremost, I want to ask you, first of all, like when you look at like what you've accomplished, man, you're like, man, I'm a manager in wrestling. Does that like kind of pinch you? Like, because it's awesome.
It really is. Because as a kid, this is what I always had wanted to do. So if little, like, 7-year-old me can see me now, I'd be like, wow, she did it. It's insane to think about.
Well, you know that, of course, the world's going to be filled with people saying, oh, you can't do this or that. Did you have people who said, Foxy, just think of something else? I mean, wrestling. I mean, like, because I know you got that never die attitude. And like, you know what, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm sure. Did you have like the naysayers?
Honestly, the biggest naysayer might have been myself. Because I mean, for those that are listening, I've been doing this since 1998, 1999.
Yeah.
So growing up, this is what I wanted to do. I'd seen Miss Elizabeth. I wanted to be a manager. Hands down, that was it. But, growing up back then and growing up with wrestling, things changed so much. You had Sunny and then you had Sable and Tori and very, very lean, very voluptuous, very blonde. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is never going to happen for me, like ever. I'm a brunette. I have thick glasses. I'm, not lean. So I'm like, yeah, this is not going to be a thing for me ever. And then I started watching ECW.
Yeah, ECW.
Yeah.
ECW.
And it was with ECW where it's like, I think I could do this. Because the females there were they had their own unique beauty.
Oh, yeah.
They weren't fitting like, they weren't fitting like a certain beauty standard WWE was. So I'm like, I think I can do this. So come my senior year of high school, I don't want to say I got in shape. I got mono and and I dropped like a lot of weight. So I'm like, you know what? Let me strike while the iron is hot. I asked my parents about a local school here in Jersey if I could start training. And they were like, you know what? You've been talking about this since you were a kid. Yeah, sure. We'll sign you up. It's fine. So.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, and being from within the Philadelphia area, I grew up outside of Philly. When I used to go to ECW, the women there, Francine, Dawn Marie, all of them, I mean, they pretty much presented and opened up the door for women going through tables because they didn't play in ECW. So it's like, if you're not going through a table, Paul Heyman, pretty much you're effed. And, you being in Jersey, that Jersey Philly thing really has some good schools. I mean, like if people don't know, what school got your start if people don't know?
I started over at East Coast Professional Wrestling in Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey. That was the closest that was to me. A more had popped up like around 99, 2000. I was way too far from Monster Factory to try that. I wanted to, but I'm like, that's a little further. I'm towards New York City. I'm like closer to New York City. I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna be a thing. So ECPW up in like I said, Parsippany, Lake Hiawatha area. That was where I started. And yeah.
Here you are, living the dream, kicking ass, taking your wrestlers to the titles. And Foxy, I made this clip for you because you said you started out in '98. And I'm sure you're gonna remember this clip. And I made this just for you, so I'm gonna give you a round of applause for this. That's back in the day, so I had to make that for you.
Yeah.
So everybody watching the show, give her a round of applause because, like I said, that was something I wanted to make for you because it's like we're like 2023, and that was like 2000. It's like with wrestling. And I ask this all the time because everybody's different. So for you, when you look at that back in 2000, it's like, man, like wrestling, does it go really fast or like you can't think that way? It's like you got to be enjoy it. If you enjoy it, it'll go longer. Like if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, you gotta. It's definitely enjoying the present moment type of thing because you can never predict what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I have shows up like written down on my calendar until like maybe September right now. And I try to think ahead, but it's like, you really can't. So it does feel like a long drawn out like thing, even to look back on, because again, since you're living it every day, just in the present moment, you kind of have it just extends and elongates.
Your comments are blowing up. So
I that's love my Marie. He is currently the Goddess of War champion, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so
I love her to pieces.
Showing the love tonight. So I appreciate that on the rope. So like I guess I'm gonna say it. If you got a comment, you want to say something to Foxy Foxxy, definitely I'll bring it on the air because she's live prime time here on Off the Top Rope Wednesday night. So Foxy, I want to say this. Now there's so many promoters worldwide. They know what you're doing now. Like, tell promoters right now, why should they bring in Foxy Foxxy to their promotion so they can take it to the next level? Why should you tell them, bring me onto the show. I'll take you to the next level. Tell promoters right now because the wrestling world wants to know now.
Well, because what I say very often via social media, because with me, you get a manager.
Exactly.
Yes, I will walk a wrestler to the ring, but I am walking around the ring. I am in the ring. I am cutting promos in the ring, and via social media, I will get in that ring with a female or a male. I don't really care.
Yeah, you don't care. Like, I mean, I could, you don't care. And I like see, and I was a Miss Elizabeth fan. Like she, she stayed in the corner, did her thing. Macho, she opened the door for women to be at ringside, but she never got involved. Now Miss Elizabeth, her WCW days, she was fighting people. She changed a lot, but like it must make you happy, Foxy Foxxy, to be in this women's generation now because y'all getting there and scrap. I mean, look at intergender wrestling.
Oh, but it's wild. It is absolutely wild because when I started on the indie level, there weren't a lot of female wrestlers. You had your managers, you had your valets, but there weren't a whole lot of female wrestlers at the time. And anything that would be considered a women's match was always, bra and panties, evening gown, bikini contests. And I got in the ring quite a bit to wrestle. Like I've done intergender wrestling back then. I did a little bit of full-time wrestling here and there, even though it wasn't really my thing. But now it's like everywhere. Yeah. And I was there when it started to slowly boom, with the Talia Madisons and April Hunters. And, there was a nice little thing going on for a while. And then it just exploded. And it's amazing to see. Like there's all women's shows, there's all women's promotions. And it's like, to a certain extent, I'm like, you guys can still be managers. You don't ever feel pressured. If you want to be in wrestling and you're a female, you don't feel pressured to wrestle. You could be a ref, you could be a manager, you could be anything you want. But it's like, it's insane in a very good way. Because again, back in my day, it was such a small knit thing. Small, yeah.
But now it's like that. It's like that bomb has exploded for, like I said, for what you ladies are doing now. I mean, you got intergender matches. I mean, women are main eventing. I mean, you got managers who speak like yourself. I mean, and I see when it came to your character development, like, is that for you character development or with Foxy Foxxy, what you see is what you get? I think it looks like with you, hey, what you see is what you get.
It's definitely a little bit of both. It is what you see, what you get, just turned up to like 11.
Yeah.
Because ringside, that's very much me. I'm bohemian, witchy, rock and roll, however you want to call it, but it's definitely dialed up a lot more.
Yeah. Now, I got to ask you this because, like I said, I lived in Jersey before, Atlantic City, New Jersey. I mean, I know about the Atlantic City, all that East Coast Philly. I want to know one. It probably, if it still just stays there and you laugh at it, you talk about with your husband, your kids, one crazy road story that you've had. I'm sure you probably like.
Oh God. Okay. See, telling this a couple years ago would have been controversial, but these things are legal now, so it's fine. All right. So, my husband's, he was a wrestler at the time I used to manage, Damian Dragon. It was me and him, and we were traveling up to Rhode Island with another wrestler friend of ours, his girlfriend, who turned out to be a wrestler, then a ref. She was on your show, actually, Lane Rosario.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes. And our friend Doug at the time, we were all driving up to Rhode Island. And we had gotten pulled over, and the state trooper, no less. So everyone's freaking out. So turns out we got pulled over because I think the tags were expired and the insurance wasn't paid for, blah, blah, blah. And I'm in the back seat, kind of freaking out, yet not, because I had like a joint in my purse. Yeah. It's wrestling. It is what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's wrestling. And, I'm in the back seat and I was like, so is this the point where I should probably tell you guys I have like pot?
Yeah.
And they're like, no, don't. Just and my friend Doug is like freaking the fuck out. And my husband goes to our friend Doug. He's like, don't worry. One of these days, you're going to look back at this and laugh. And I'm in the backseat and I go, fuck that. I'm laughing now. Right and now, I just busted out. It was the most insane thing. Now, unfortunately, since it wasn't like an insurance issue, they had to tow the car. So we had to take all of our gear out, sit on the highway, wait for somebody at the show to come pick us all up in this tiny little beat up car with gear. It was, yeah.
Oh man, it's I'm gonna say this on off the top rope. We're in prime time. We could talk about anything on the show. Hey, I don't give a shit. Foxy told you when I was in Las Vegas just recently. We know Vegas that's all you smell is weed, and I'm just like, oh man, I started getting the itch, man. But I was with my wife. I was being a good boy. So, but yeah, we all been there. But hey, it is what it is. And, you look like you said. Your husband said it. You just look back and laugh because life is too short. Life is too short to take stuff seriously, and that's what we definitely learned. Now, Foxy, for fans who know you, what would they tell fans that don't know you about? Like, hey, go see Foxy, man. It's like, what would your fans that know you tell them? Hey, come check her out.
Oh, let's see. They would say, all right, you got to go check out this girl Foxy. She is crazy. She will get in that ring because she's gotten kicked in the face once. So like she doesn't care. But then afterwards, she's super nice. Like she'll just sit and talk to you for over nothing, which I do. Like come intermission, I'm talking to everybody under the sun about like music and the show and Dungeons and Dragons. Like I'm not social, but I'm talkative.
Talkative, yeah. It's like the thing about it's like I know that's one thing about, and that's how I'm like, especially if it's wrestling, I could talk to you 24/7 about wrestling. And I can see like when it comes to talking, you engage with social media. And speaking of social media, that's what I want to bring you to is that do you think social media, because you've been in the game for a long time, has social media kind of kicked wrestling in the face? Like it could be like that dark cloud that hangs over wrestling, or social media, it could be a good thing. It has its ups and downs.
It's a bit of both. Because because of my age, I was there when it all started. So with MySpace and Facebook starting up. And in the beginning, it was a great thing because if you were smart, you could easily just create an account for your persona as opposed to your real life. So you could separate it easily. to a certain extent, you can still do that now. I mean, people are unfortunately really, really smart, so they can still find
Smarten
you
up.
under your real name and your personal life. But if you just keep everything separate, it's a great tool, especially when it comes to like indie promotions that, you know, aren't on IWTV or Twitch. Like you can cut all your promos on social media. You can promote them via event pages and, you know, TikTok. There's so many different avenues that there's no excuse as to why, you know, hey, why aren't you promoting the show? Why aren't you pushing your? There's no excuse these days. Like everything is out there for us. So you can utilize it.
Have you ever cut a promo, let's say on Instagram or Twitter, or even Facebook, where he's about to cut a promo and you were like, I need a prop, and you're like, oh shit. Like, have you ever come across that, like something that was right there?
Yeah,
I'm gonna use this and cut this like real quick.
Yeah, like when I first came back to wrestling last year, I'm sitting around and the guy that managed Cade, he was like, we need a promo. I'm like, okay. So I'm cutting a promo. And I'm like, this sucks. So I'm like looking around. I'm like, what can I use? I'm like, oh, my tarot cards. Like, grab my tarot cards. I'm like, okay, here we go.
That's pretty cool. It's like anything. It's like today, but I think it would also help professional wrestlers like yourself being in the business, because people can reach out to you. Hey, Foxy, I got a show. You want to come to a show? Or other wrestlers saying, hey, like, you want to manage me? So it's like, you looked at Northern Tier and Xcite, which we'll talk about them later on. I mean, I'm sure it's helped them, you know, because I'm not too far from Johnson City and all those places. So, nice. but yeah, it's really has helped, I'm sure, a lot of promoters and performers, you know, as well. And on top of the whole scale of wrestling, if you had to look at, how would you describe wrestling today? I mean, everybody, you had like the WWF era of wrestling, the 80s and 90s, and the Attitude Era. Like, how would you describe wrestling today? Because wrestling is going to keep moving no matter who's in it.
Right now, I would almost want to call it like an industrial era. Like, you know how there was like the Industrial Revolution, where that's when they really started using the mechanics and building upon what they knew to make things bigger and better. Right now, I think we're at that point where there's a lot going on TV, on the indies. There's more people that are training, are trained, and there's access to everybody. Like you said, via social media, you know, or just via YouTube. So I think right now it's like there's a lot to just keep building upon. Like for Xcite, for example, they stream their shows on Twitch, which is fantastic for fans that can't, like my husband and my kids, they watch me on Twitch because they can't come to upstate New York. You know, it's definitely in an industrial era where there's so many tools, and you just got to build upon it to see what the next real big thing is going to be for indies, as well as like WWE, AEW, TNA. They're still called TNA, right? They changed their name so much. Or is it Impact?
They're Impact now.
Okay. I don't know what they're called anymore.
Yeah, they've been when Jeff Jarrett took over, it's TNA, Impact. But yeah, and the thing about it too, like you said, indie promotions are really taking advantage of social media and these websites. Like you said, I had no idea that Xcite is on Twitch. So like I said, I mean, you know, your husband and kids can watch you this Friday or Saturday. We'll talk about that. So like it's a lot of big things is going on, and Fight TV is a huge one. So God bless. You got to say God bless social media, because we didn't have that stuff when you started. So even when I was, you know, I was in high school around that time. But yeah, it's wrestling has come a long way, and it's only going to get better too as well. Yeah. So you know, Foxy, you know, you being the talker that you are, and that's a compliment. You said when you're doing an intermission, fans will come to you and talk to you. Now, have you had fans come to you and say, Foxy, I want to be the next big manager like you? Have they done that? And if they have, what advice did you give them? Because I know they want to pick your brain.
Actually, yes. Believe it or not, it always shocks me. Like, me, why are you asking me? Like, I'm just me. But I mean, the one thing I always say when it comes to wanting to train as a manager, because a lot of people see managers and think you really don't need to train. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah.
You do. You know, it looks quote unquote easy, but it's really not, because I equate it to driving, where you gotta drive, you gotta look forward while looking at all your mirrors for people behind you, whoever's coming next, you know, blind spots, pedestrians, etc. It's like driving a car where your attention is focused everywhere.
Yeah.
And the biggest advice that I always give is, just always watch the matches.
Watch 'em,
because from there you'll pick it up. Like way back in the day, I took a Dawn Marie seminar, and the one thing she had always said was no one to be quiet and no one to be loud. I'm like, never really thought about that. Then you watch managers who are just loud and boisterous the entire time, and it's like, okay, I get it now. I get it, because that's kind of taking away. I get it. Like you gotta. It's like puzzle pieces.
Putting the pieces, and that's why I said, hey, and I told everybody when I said the intro, you're gonna get wrestling managing 101. Like I said, Foxy will tell you, and like you said, always watch the match, but like I applaud what you do because you got to feed from the crowd. They're talking trash to you. Oh well, whatever. So and you kind of gotta work them and say, oh whatever to you too. So it's like you kind of like juggling like parents that are yelling at you, like so.
You got to juggle a lot. And like I said, when it comes to watching the match, because you need to know like the layout of a match, the psychology of a match. You need to know the placement of the ref. You need to pay attention to your surroundings behind you at the fans, because you never know if someone's going to try to swipe at you. You got to learn to tune them out if they're getting a little rambunctious. It's over sensory. Like it can definitely get to you, because there are times where I've been ringside and it has like just gotten to me, all of it, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna shut down now. But it's a lot. It takes a lot of concentration to multitask mentally like that.
It's a really cool thing, and like I said, I tell all my guests, on the show, including you, I give such a great applause and respect for what you do, traveling, getting ready for matches, and the biggest thing of all, when you're a manager, like if you just get in the ring and try to be a manager, they say, oh well, you're taking the bump out the ring. You'd be like, wait a minute, like you gotta be trained to that. Get thrown out the ring. I mean, so it's like, so I mean, managers, you gotta know what you're doing. So, but I mean, hey, one of the best is telling you how to do, and that's Foxy Foxxy. Now, one thing I could tell from you, and I loved this saying that I got this for you, and I created this outside the chaos. I could tell that you get back to wrestling, because outside of wrestling, seem like you like to help each other's heal. And this message, Witch Heart, Firewoman, Foxy Foxxy, sit back for the sequel of your dreams. And I like that saying, because it's like you sit back and wait because something else. It's like from a movie. The sequel's coming up. So like this message hasn't reached like a lot of people who've read this. Like for me, it did. So that's why I wanted to share it. It hasn't really hit people. Said, Foxy, I like that.
Yeah, I have the tendency to reinvent myself a lot. And I mean, whether it be a hair color or a haircut, or it's like, that's just something I have to do at least like every 3 to 6 months to just keep myself motivated, or just I'm spontaneous and weird and impulsive like that. And I brought it into wrestling because I randomly decided last month, I'm like, you know what? I'm chopping my hair off.
And did you do it? Like, did you?
Yep. Chopped it all off. Because and it was actually a big thing for me, because I always equated, long hair with sexiness, and that you equate to wrestling. So for me to just go, fuck it, I'm chopping it off.
Yeah.
It was like, you got it. Just take the balls and just run with it. Just run with it. And
Foxy, fans love like if you just either you can reinvent yourself. Suppose you take 2 shows off, reinvent yourself, chop your hair off, or color your hair. You come back, they're like, oh shit, look what Foxy Foxxy did. And fans like that. I think sometimes in wrestling, you go face or heel, either face or heel as a manager. Fans like that because fans need like you to upgrade, you know. So and I didn't think about that. You said you reinvented yourself, and that's all plays in what you do as a manager. So I like that. So many things you can do. I would think in wrestlers, maybe a referee could turn heel. I mean, you never know.
You never know.
Now, this clip I was like, man, any group, any tag team she manages, paint this picture. I got this from Twitter tape. Now you can say I'm right or wrong. This picture says the referee saying, the way his face is, he's like, man, fuck, I got to deal with them.
Yeah.
Like, was he saying that? He's like, oh shit, these two.
Probably because I mean, that ref Ryan, he doesn't really get to ref the matches I'm in, and I blatantly told him next time you're in a match that I'm gonna mess with you. I'm gonna mess with you. So I think he was just anticipating, like, oh, what is she gonna do to me?
No, yeah, that's why I found this. I was like, I put the bring this on to the broadcast. I like that. I was like, he's like,
oh no, what's she gonna do?
Well, hopefully, as of late, has his blood pressure going down because of you, or is it still up? So,
oh no, it's still a little up because at the last show we did, he was our ref as well. So kind of worked out.
Now, as we get close to this awesome episode of Off the Top Rope on this Wednesday night, it's been an honor having you on the show. As we move forward to the summer, what goals do you have? I mean, everybody has goals, no matter how long you've been doing this. But what are some wrestling goals for Foxy Foxxy? I mean, you got Northern Territory doing, Xcite. I mean, so many promotions out there. I mean, are there any promotions that you want to consider? Like, what's something that's on your radar?
Well, my number one goal is always just to have fun.
Yeah.
That I tell that to everybody. Just have fun. Because if we're not having fun, why are we bothering? So that's my number one goal. Have fun doing what I'm doing, I mean, as far as other things, I mean, I would love to work more upstate. Upstate right now is a hotbed with indie wrestling and the rosters that they have of guys that I know or guys that I've just watched. It's like, I want to be a part of that. I want to do that too. So, and of course, just, expand the brand, I guess you could say, whether that's traveling or just getting, to reach out to more people via social media. Because with my social media, I am also very transparent. Like, hey, guess what? I have depression. Or hey, guess what? I have anxiety. Like, I'm very open like that. So the more people I could reach with that, or just with my stupidity on TikTok, all the better.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I like the fact you give all your fans a good laugh. I mean, because like that message, wait for your sequel. That's really, that brought me up because I think I was having a bad day or something. Because you're human, and that that's why I wanted to share that. And I applaud that you share your message and all your fans say, hey, just laugh like me. Me. I do dumb shit I've done yesterday. I make myself laugh. So, but now we've talked about promotions that you've been, I could say you want to work for. Now let's talk about two promotions that you know very well. So I'm gonna talk about Northern Tier Wrestling and Xcite Wrestling. Now they bring the experience of all time, a great experience for wrestlers, managers, fans. And like, what do they do to do that? I mean, because like they're doing something right.
Well, Xcite. Well, we'll start with Xcite since that was like the first one in the graphic. Xcite, like I said, they live stream via Twitch, which is a great way to bring in other fans because you have the live chat going, so you easily make friends or foes via the live chat. And Twitch is a huge live streaming platform, for gaming and for podcasts, and to make it so also for wrestling is I feel that that's something different and unique, and because it's almost like you're watching TV. And Xcite does a lot for community based programs, like they have times where bring in canned food for a certain program that comes in. I forgot the name of it. Or right now we have an animal rescue that is accepting donations. They have 3 kittens that are going to be available soon, named Cade, Axel, Lennox, and Foxy. We took pictures with them at the last show. And then the things that they do with Speedy Fest coming in August that they did last year, they're very community oriented, I would say. Same with NTW. Like they have that family community feel to them. They do want to give back, and it's also just the atmosphere that both companies provide for their wrestlers, because when your wrestlers are happy and having a good time and feel welcome and feel like family, that extends outwards to the fans and how you treat the fans and the performance you put on. The last NTW show that me and Cade did together, we talked to so many fans, and we got the fans involved in the match. And like one of the vendors was a beer vendor. He thought we were so great, he came over and gave us free beer afterwards. Like it's it's just one of those things where you know how they say Olive Garden treats us like family. That's what like Xcite and NTW is. And like I said, it's usually the same rotation of guys, a couple, other people from the what's it called? The NEPA area. Is that what they call it? The NEPA area and more upstate. So it's like a good fluctuation. Everyone gets along, and it's just such a great place to be. Like both of those places are just great places to be. And you could see it and feel it. Yeah.
Well, it's one thing. And like I said, I'm not too far from what they do because I'm actually in Waverly, New York. So I'm right near them. So I still have to take my ass to a show. So I'm in the area where they're at. So, and it's funny that you saw Olive Garden. Just before I came on the air to get ready, they showed that the Olive Garden commercial too. So
I haven't been to an Olive Garden in years. I need to go to an Olive Garden.
The breadsticks. No, let's not talk about that. So yeah. Now, Foxy, this is your first time on the ropes. So whenever you come on the ropes, I got to try to stalk my guests, but this is in a good way. So this segment, I think you'll like it. So you ready for it?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Damn, Ty. That's good.
Segment is good. Everybody loves it. So here's the question. The question is, now let's bring the chaos, of course. Now, Foxy, if you can, create your very own gimmick match, and this match is yours only, what would it be?
Ooh, okay. Like completely imaginary.
You can do whatever you want. Like it never been done before. This is yours. So if you're on the card, it's like yours. Have parentheses around it. It's just yours.
Oh my God. It would have to be some kind of weird, like witchcrafty woods type thing.
That'd be cool. Because like how Matt Hardy, they do like that Matt Hardy thing. Yeah,
like weird witchcrafty with woods with like bonfires and things, and like I don't know, maybe like some kind of summoning circle.
That'd be cool. Would the ring be in the middle, or would the ring be like, or like
it would be in the middle? Yeah, like almost like the craft, and you got something like that.
I can see you coming out badass. You have like the gear. I can see that happening.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
I don't know what the stipulation would be, but it would look great.
Would this be like a tag team for any of your tag teams, or for any of your singles guys that you're managing, or it don't really matter?
I don't think it would matter, but I think maybe tag team specifically, because if you could use like tree branches and like just double team off of a tree branch instead of the ropes or something.
I think tag teams is more chaos. You got 4 people.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. That'd be really crazy. So I figured you like that segment. So, and like I said, hey, I'll be there to check it out. But if I'm a fan, and it sounds like the type of match that make it crazy. So they meant to back the fans up a little bit. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So Foxy, I want to say this, like I said, we're getting close to, you're going to be busy Friday and Saturday. So I want you to slam and promote what you got going on. This is actually coming up Friday and Saturday. So let everybody know what you got coming up.
Oh boy. Well, that's just this coming weekend. Friday, June 2nd is Xcite Wrestling at the X2, which is in Arnett Mall. And then Saturday, June 3rd, we will be at the X1 at Oakdale Mall in Johnson City, New York. Cade is teaming up with Sean Carr to face the Salt City Killers, which is black and yellow. So those two Xcite ones. Xcite is also going to be returning June 30th at the X2, and then July 1st at the X1. We have a couple other things going on in June other than Xcite. June 10th will be at VPW in Long Island, New York, in Bayshore. And June 25th, we will be down in Gloucester, New Jersey. I don't know how to pronounce it for T2. Yeah, for T2I Wrestling. It's an afternoon show, so anyone can come down to that and still not miss out on their lazy Sundays. Man, June's
you'll be busy there, girl. Yeah. I mean, well, it definitely Xcite's really plugging with the summer shows. I mean, they got June coming up. They got June 30th, and I think you said they got something in July, and that sounds like that'd be the July 4th weekend. So
yeah, and then August they have Speedy Fest, which is like a big hot air balloon multi-day festival in a park with like a bunch of singers come in, vendors, 3 days, possibly 4 days of wrestling. They have Kurt Angle coming in, they have Matt Cardona coming in, and a couple unannounced things that they have yet to speak about. You know, things are under wraps.
Now, are you going to be at this event or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now the date for this again is
Speedy Fest is August. Let me pull up the phone calendar because I don't even know what day it is right now. August 3rd through 6th is Speedy Fest. I will be there on the 5th and 6th, the Saturday and Sunday, but there's going to be wrestling that entire 4-day weekends.
Yeah, I gotta see because, like I said, and what area it's in?
It's in I believe Johnson City. It's like this big park.
Oh yeah, because Johnson City, like I said, I'm right up 8117, so I'm not too far away. So, but yeah, like I said, this summer is going to be crazy in wrestling because, like I said, you got Foxy Foxxy headlining this really cool summer of wrestling, and it's a great time to be a wrestling fan because, like I said, wrestling is just a great thing going right now. And Foxy Foxxy, first and foremost, I want to thank you for taking the time out when you got kids graduating college and everything, going to college or whatever. I want to thank you for taking the time out to come on Off the Top Rope. It's been an honor to have you on tonight.
Thank you. It was fun.
and the one thing I got to say, from 1 to 10, would you ever come back on Off the Top Rope again so we could talk about weed and laughs and all that wrestling and whatever?
11.
Well, and like I said, I would say, like I said, have fun this weekend, Xcite, and like I said, dudes, keep doing what you're doing. Be the best manager you can be, and like I said, hey, keep beating people up and keep winning, keep getting titles and everything with your teams and your singles wrestlers.
Yeah, I try.
This is your boy Ty Asbury. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Off the Top Rope Wednesday. Like my live guest in prime time was, of course, she is. Like I said, I'm gonna say it right now. She is the manager everybody wants to have in their corner. Foxy Foxxy was live on the ropes tonight. Foxy Foxxy, God bless and have a good one.
Thank you so much, dear.
Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.